Sissi, first and foremost, I think it's important for us to understand the foundation for which built your passion and love for the game. And so if you could give us a snapshot into, from your earliest memories of football in your life, please.
First, thank you for having me. My goodness, this is definitely a pleasure have this conversation with you for the first time. We already had too many, but this is definitely different. So I can tell a little bit how everything happened, how it started. Of course, I came from a the foundation that I had started especially with my parents. You know, of course, at the beginning, my dad was against, uh, having like me playing soccer because of, being a girl. So of course I had that resisted, especially coming from him. I guess he put all his dreams on my brother, so you know how it is in Brazil. So it's everything was about what men could do and what women couldn't do at all. So
how many siblings do you have?
I have 4 sisters and 1 brother.
So all the dreams were from your dad put into your brother, like this is in terms of football or sports.
Yes, exactly. Everything. So
everything.
I was very curious. I was from, being 7 years old. I always challenged them. I always challenged, especially my dad. When he said, "You cannot do this," I was like, "No way, I will do it no matter what." So everything that boys, it was boys allowed to do, and they say girls cannot. I said, "No way." And I challenged him from the beginning at age 7. So, it was the tomboyish, let's put it that way. So
you were destined to make some big move, it seems, whether that be domestically or with the national team. You were bound to do something great because you already had this great resistance in front of you, and you said, forget it.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I did. And I was trying to it's asking him why. I demand that, like an answer, why I cannot do. So, and I started to like challenge both of them with soccer especially. But they always like, okay, do you want to play? That's fine. So I always chasing both of them. I got frustrated a lot, because can I play with your soccer ball? No, you can't. So then one day I got mad and I started to take my doll's head.
I love, this might be my favorite story, Sissi, because when I look at young kids and I see them have all these advantages of nice equipment, flat fields, round soccer balls, and I think about you taking the head of your doll off and using it as your football because no one encouraged you to have the proper equipment. It's no wonder why you were a magician on the field.
Yeah, so that's how it happened, B. And it goes from doll's head, socks, toilet paper, everything that you can imagine it. I could use to play. That's what I did. So finally.
But who did you play with? If
by myself, because there was not a lot of girls. All my friends, they always look, they look and they say, something's not right with this girl. They, call me names, So then I finally start to play with boys. And it was interesting because I don't have the problem play with them.
Right.
They accept me. There was always, they fought because they knew this girl can play. So
they wanted you on their team.
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly. They want to have me to join. And it was always this big fight, and I say, wow, I can't believe, so why cannot be with girls? But the girls, they're like, nah, do you want to play with dolls? That's fine, but no play soccer. And I say, I don't care.
And so it seems to me that this was a cultural divide between genders, right? So it wasn't that the girls probably didn't want to play, they weren't given that as something that they could do, so they didn't steer towards that direction, and you were born with this gift.
And they also, I think, because the parents also told them, you cannot do this.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to be successful. There is no way soccer is for men or for women. So it's already come with that. So
Mm-hmm.
I had the problem myself, because it took some time for my parents to accept that. So it came with me be persistent. And I started to challenge them at age 7. So finally my dad said, hey, something's not right over here. So he started to pay attention more on those details.
Mm-hmm.
And see, oh my, yeah, I can't believe she was born with the gift. So now he became basically my biggest fan and supporter, so it goes from him saying no, for him to finally accept that, encourage me and push me to get better. And I can't say enough.
What age was that, Sissi?
11.
11.
I was already 11. And then it was going from him to say no, for him to support and like training me and challenge me to get better. So it's changed completely.
So let's fast forward to, and I will get back, I'm going to go a little bit out of time sequence here, just because you brought something up that I think is relevant. What do you believe now is the mentality of parents when it comes to girls in football? And has it changed? Is it the same? What do the scales look like now?
It changed a little bit, because I think, especially in Brazil, I can see there are more girls interest in play soccer, different than was when I was playing. So definitely changed a little bit, but it's still, I don't think it's still the way that I would like to see and give the structure. Of course, we still have that problem because of our culture, because also what men already achieved for the past couple of years. So we still live in a shadow. So of course, the parents are still encouraged, but not so much. It's not like, and there's not like here, so yes, we see more girls playing soccer, but they still trying to find their own identity, and not be like, oh, we want to create our own identity, not related to the men. So change, but not the way that I would like to see. And it comes with girls having more opportunity to play in the schools and have teams also. So yeah, different, but not the way that we would like to see.
Right. And do you feel that because there has been a little bit of change, not what we want, but do you feel like these young girls now can look up and see Dabinia or Marta or Sissi or Ludmilla or whomever, Beatrice or whoever it is that's playing for Brazil? Is there a correlation for these young girls and those players? Is there enough awareness and accessibility to them?
Definitely. And
Awesome.
that's one of the things that I miss the most, because growing up, I did not have a female an athlete for me to look up to.
So,
I didn't.
yeah.
So it goes for me watching men's soccer.
Who was
And
your favorite? Who was your role model?
Zico, they used to play for Flamengo, so he was the first one. Of course, now we all knew about Pelé, but Zico was the first number 10 that I fell in love with. His style, It's a lot of things. So, but I wish I could have had a female athlete.
What do you think having a female role model, since this is, again, we're talking about, this is Women's History Month and International Women's Day on the 8th. What is the significance of a female role model?
It's going for, and I can tell about my story as well. It's be able to say, yes, we can do this, you know, and have the ability to show that we can do anything. So, and let's go for a lot of things, because again, I've been told many times that I couldn't do anything, that I was not strong enough, that I was not pretty enough, that, so it's everything, that it's going from the beginning, or not, of being told many times that I was not going to succeed, because of also, that was our culture, and still. So again, I wish I could have, and I only had an opportunity later on. And I think I can say that, and it's not because I'm talking to you, because right when I had opportunity to meet you and train with you and look up to you, and I can say, and I say many times, you are the first female player and person that I say, oh my, because you know how strong mentally, all lot of things that I always, I wish I could have had, you know, that presence and the voice, the way that you always fought for women's soccer, for us to not only get better on the field, but off the field. So there are a lot of things that I can say, yes, you might don't know, but yes, I always try to, oh yes, now I have someone that can inspire me to get better, but also it's the personality. You're so strong, the way you carry yourself. So I was very lucky that I had
Don't make me
opportunity.
cry, Sissi.
No,
This is not about crying.
no,
Oh
that's
my
true.
goodness.
That's true.
Well, let's talk about then, gosh, I literally have like these goosebumps all over me. Like they're just, I can't tell you how mutual the feeling is. I remember I was so nervous, Sissi. I mean, you and I met we met on the soccer field, but you know, as enemies, that's a too strong of a word. I think as respectful opponents, you know, many times. But I think when I came to pick you up at the airport, I get goosebumps. I'm thinking about it right now. I looked up on the internet. I was like, okay, how am I going to make Sissi feel welcome? What is the national dish of Brazil? And now I'm making something I've never even heard of, feijoada. And I know I screwed it up totally, I'm sure, as I can see it in my head. But I was picking you up that day, and I was so excited about having you as my teammate. Tell me about the decision to come to the WUSA, and what were your expectations versus what you saw and what you experienced, and what you see then the next iteration in the WPS, and then what you think about now. So that's a lot to unpack.
Yeah. I think number one, after 1999 Women's World Cup, that's the one that definitely changed not only my life, but I think women's soccer around the world. It changed completely. I already say many times that I don't think we ever going to have a competition like that one.
Yeah.
In all aspects. And it goes from the talent, the organization, the fans. Oh my goodness. There is no way one day that I cannot think about, when I think about, you know, we discuss about soccer, that I cannot think about 1999. So your generation changed completely and changed my life in all the
changed my
aspects.
life too. 99 was a catalyst for change, for sure.
Yes, exactly. And that's why I think have the experience made me change my mind in terms of leaving Brazil. So when I heard they was going to have this professional league in the United States, I cannot say to you it was scary,
Yeah.
because it's going from you leave your small city to a big city that is, Salvador, to go to São Paulo. But now it's different. It's leave your country to come to a different country, different culture, the language. I was definitely scared, but I accept the challenge. I was told there is no way you are not good enough to go to play for, in US, this new professional league. And I say, sorry, I'm gonna prove that you are wrong. But all the memories that I had, not only be part of that team, the organization, the people behind my teammates, but that first night come to your house, because it was definitely scary. But the way you made myself and Katya, the way you made both of us feel welcome. Oh my gosh. You took the time to prepare our favorite dish. It was unbelievable. And open your house, and I don't know. It was one thing that I would never forget.
Well, I tell you, I wanted to be your best friend. And having taken the journey to Japan years before to play, because there wasn't a professional league here in the US, much like you, but probably a little less nerve-wracking, because I did have support, and I was encouraged to play. But I can't tell you how much I just wanted us to connect, and we have, and I'm so grateful that we are still friends. So besides being teammates, and let's talk about that first year. We can hang our hats on this, and this is trivia for a lifetime. We are the first ever professional women's soccer champions.
Yes.
Right?
It was, yeah, and let me tell, it's come you with this, the way we play soccer in Brazil, to come and adapt to their style, because it was very different. So it was the physicality, but also, the way you guys play was very different. So you come and you try to adjust. It comes with the language barrier, all those things. So you're trying to put all together, but the whole team was so supportive. And what I want to do more than anything was to succeed, to be able to say, yes, I came, I achieved, I overcome a lot of stuff. So, but it was not very easy. But I had the support from my teammates, but you especially. I can't deny that. What we want to do is please. It goes from us to say, okay, I now remember, like if it was yesterday, my first word that you taught me how to say in the locker room at West Valley College, and you say, can you say this? And I say, yes, out loud, my first bad word in, in English. And I say, oh my gosh, what I am saying here. And I say it without even thinking. But the training environment, that was the best 3 years of my life. I can't deny all that. Definitely, I fell in love with soccer again.
God.
I enjoy every minute. First 3 months, it was crazy, because you're trying to kind of figure it out how to, number one is adjust your style with your style. But we hit the wall a couple of times, we started going on the bottom of the league, and we make some adjustment. And I can't believe when we won the first championship, I can't believe. But yes, those 3 years were the best year, playing professionally. I don't think even in Brazil, I had too much fun. And everything. So it was very, very different, but I enjoy every single minute, and be part of the group was definitely special
I
for
can't
me.
believe you just called me out saying I taught you bad words. I was going to
Sorry.
say that's what I learned from you all, but I was going to keep that to myself. But now I'm going to tell on you
Oh,
too.
no,
So,
that's okay.
so when the league came to an end, and I mean that was so disappointing, right? It was so disappointing on so many different levels. And what were your thoughts at that point? And then with the second iteration in the WPS, what were your thoughts about that? So closing to reopening.
Yeah, that was scary, because I didn't know what I was gonna do going back to Brazil. I knew if I was in Brazil, I I don't know. I don't know what I could have done with my career. I don't know if I was still playing Brazil. So it was definitely that situation where I didn't know what to expect.
Mm,
So it was disappointing, but at the same time, I was trying to figure it out and prepare myself. What is next? What I can do?
mm.
And I was very thankful because right in the middle of the whole chaos, Jerry Zanelli.
Yes.
Oh yes, that's the
This is
guy.
very good that you've brought him up.
Yeah, that was the guy that I'm here today because of him,
Yeah.
because he gave more opportunity for me to come back and play for the WPSL with California Storm.
Yeah.
So that was, oh, but what exactly what this is gonna be for me playing professionally, and now I'm going back to United States and play semi-pro.
Hmm.
So it was very difficult, but I said I will embrace this challenge again. So
So, I basically, you and I then began to have these parallel line tracks, right? Because when was your retirement from from the national team?
when they retire me, let's put it away, in 2000 after the Olympics.
Yeah.
So
2000,
basically,
after
2000.
2000.
Yeah,
Right.
that's when they say, yep, they stopped calling me for because
Yeah.
of
So
my age.
we've had similar experiences, CC, because I had that same thing in 2004. But let's go back to Jerry Zanelli and the importance of a place for women and girls to play, because you weren't done with your career, and you were still this great player, and you needed a place. And I think advocacy for women, if it looks like women, it's great. If it happens to be someone like Jerry Zanelli, I think it's also great. And speak to, again, if you can just elaborate on what that meant, because now we're talking about there was a gap, and how did you sustain yourself? How did you pay rent, or what did
Yeah.
you do?
So right when he invited me to come back, there was definitely a hesitation, because it's like, okay, how exactly I'm going to survive,
Mm-hmm.
going back. But I was very lucky that right when I came back, I had the chance to get a job at junior college.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going for you to, okay, I think I still can play and get a job as an assistant coach. But it's I have no idea was the difference between junior college, no idea.
Right.
And I was still thinking as a player. So but I decided, it's at least I can pay my bills, and I decided to come back.
Yeah.
So he was the reason why I came back. He was the
Give
reason
give a
why.
little more give a little more background or color to who Jerry was.
Jerry was I would say, the founder of the
Yep.
WPSL.
Correct. But
Start with
that was not his occupation.
exactly. He was a lobbyist,
Right.
but he was still had like that. I was lucky to have the opportunity to meet that guy, because he was more than he was a father figure for. He was the guy that I could talk anytime. We
Mm.
fought a lot, but
No. That's called love. That's just
exactly.
love.
But I always forever be grateful.
Mm.
So he started with what? I don't even remember how many teams, and suddenly was more than 100 teams. And he gave the opportunity for a lot of players to
Yes.
continue to play. And so that's the
And
reason
do you
why.
know, the founder of the Women in Soccer platform, Courtney Carroll Levinson, played on the Storm. So this is another, I mean, honestly, the pebble was thrown into this very flat pond, and now the ripples just, I mean,
Yes,
I found a poster, I think I sent it to you recently, and on there it had to have anywhere between 5 to 10 national team players from US and from other places.
that's exactly. He gave it again. He gave definitely the opportunity for us to continue to play. And
Right.
but it's not only that. I think it was more for us to impact and to. It's unbelievable how many people he had a chance to help.
Yeah.
And when I say that, is help not only on the field but off the field. So
Yeah,
I,
I'm with you. I can't.
yes,
I mean, I'm so fortunate that I feel that we gave him the love back that he deserved. Right? We told him thank you. We showed up on the weekends. We drove countless
yeah, yeah,
hours to. I think I drove double the amount of time that I ever got to play because I was so far away, but I wasn't missing it. And just as a funny side note to Jerry, he was not just the owner, he was the manager on the side.
yeah, yes.
He would give some of the funniest halftime talks.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, it was unbelievable. I was like, wow. And but I was still like challenging him. We had a lot of many stories about when he's, wow, you're gonna serve me with 5 minutes left. What are you thinking? And I did not talk to him for 2 weeks because of that. But it goes with all those things that again I don't know if it was not for him, I don't know. So,
Yeah,
and it goes from there, and then comes the WPS. That was a totally a change for me. It was I don't want to say disaster, but it was a not very good experience for me, to be
yeah.
honest. Um,
And do you think that was structurally or that was just
everything. I
everything?
think everything. I think it goes from you to had the opportunity to be part of this organization when yeah, we probably had some um, problems, but not so much what I saw, even when it comes with the empowerment,
Mm,
even for you to be able to say, okay, what I'm here for.
mm,
So I came here for what reason? So I'm came here because of who I am, or can I add something? So I was totally lost,
mm,
and then it's going from not telling me what was my role from the beginning. Your role is this. So it was everything that I dislike, and it was good for me to be around the players, but not so much with the whole organization.
mm.
And
And I wonder if that's because I think there's a lot of good people that were investing in the WPS, but again, I think it was maybe they had a lot of love, but not a lot of understanding of how it was going to function or what it would look like really in the community. And I feel that shift now, let's take that and let's shift to what's happening now. And do you have any communication with any of the Brazilian players that are playing in the league now, and what are some of the things that they're saying and their feelings about playing here? And are you a role model, inspiration / go-to for any new players that might want to come over?
yes, I do have when I can, it's to have that conversation with some of the girls. Of course, that they are trying not to give a lot of details, but it changed so much, and it goes from the style. I think the way that it's been difficult for a lot of players to adjust with that, because the game now is a fast pace. It's all about physicality, but they mention about the quality itself,
Mm-hmm.
So yes, there are definitely a lot of people, a lot of players, they still want to come in US because that opportunity,
Mm,
because of no matter what, it's still well structured more than in Brazil.
mm,
So you still, they are looking for opportunity to come and live in Brazil. But it changed completely from when I used to play and right now. And it goes with exactly their style. So I don't know. It's complicated because I try not to. I try not. I don't want to compare as much as I would like to. Um,
that is hard. It is hard.
yes, it is. It
It's
is
hard.
hard to, when it look back and see who used to play, and right now, of course, uh, I can. I think no matter what, the United States still, when you look in terms of how many players they all have the opportunity to develop every year, that is something we don't have in Brazil. So that's we still.
But okay, so
Uh-huh.
this is a good transition to a conversation that I think is really critical, because you coach youth soccer, I coach youth soccer. We see it from this low level grassroots, and hopefully everybody that's listening here also will have some commentary about how can we continue to grow the game. And if you're saying Brazil, who don't have as much opportunity and isn't as well structured, but they have some phenomenal football players. How is that possible? And we have 2.5 minutes, and then I'm going to have to send you another
Yeah, okay.
link.
I okay, so imagining if we could have the same structure in Brazil. How
No,
many
it scares the
Martas?
hell out of me.
Exactly.
It scares me. That's why when I saw Pia going to Brazil, I was like, oh no,
Yes, exactly. And you
oh
can
no.
see how much we changed. We already closed that gap. When we used to play US, we said, no way we're going to have a chance. But we closed that gap for the past couple of years. And yes, when I heard that she was going to take over, and I say, finally, for a lot of reasons, because she played the game,
Mm.
I knew she's going to bring something different that we haven't had.
And what do you think that is? What do you think
It,
that
it
is?
goes for you to bring and it comes about the tactics too, and understanding the game, and she doesn't want to change how we play.
Mm.
Okay, it's not change our ability, because a lot of things we are do. I already said it's natural. You can teach that. I'm sorry. No one can teach a lot of things there. I believe we have the ability to do on the field. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I think she can adjust. She started to adjust something we did not have before. The organization, when it comes about the tactics, especially, because that's what I pay attention now.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's putting the pieces now it's basically building a puzzle. It's putting the pieces on the right place, but now you start to understand how to manage the game a little bit different, something we did not have before.
Yeah, and I have always felt that. I thought, there was two things in my opinion. It was this organization and this discipline, right? To understand and know your role and then be there to fulfill it at the right time, right? And that's what I felt like, this player goes and dribbles off here and it looks spectacular, but now she's left some area and now all of a sudden you're vulnerable and nobody's helping her, and there's no rotation of pieces, or like you said, there's the organizational piece kind of falls to the wayside. So that I think that's two areas for me that once she really gets her hooks into things, I think can really cause some problems for sure.
And yeah, And the last thing is about the girls stay focused.
Yeah, I just find it incredible how we can live, we've lived on different continents, and yet we still felt some pushback. And and Maria has said to me, it's like we're soccer soulmates. And there's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. Right from the beginning, I think from the beginning, I had this incredible appreciation for your talent. That's no doubt. And when anybody asks me who was the hardest player to play against, you definitely come up in the very short lineup, because you were just so, I'm going to say this in a loving way, you were so good and greedy with the ball. Like, you did not want to give it up. You were like, I have this ball. I'm going to give it. I'll get it back. I'm going to get it. You know, I'm going to do this spectacular thing. I'll give it. I'll get it back. And I just appreciated it so much. So I just want you to know those trophies behind you are really spectacular, and they don't compare to the player and the person that you are. I mean, we would need all of the National Soccer Hall of Fame here in America and in Brazil to express the, you know, the amount of impact you've had on women's soccer. And you said before we started recording this that if you said my name in Brazil, nobody would know it. But I feel like that's something now that's on my bucket list of things to do, to make everybody understand that you were this incredible catalyst to women's football in Brazil and in America. Like, it wouldn't be the same without you. So,
But
you should
B,
know that.
yeah, B, I, I, as much as I had people that help, um, I, I don't think I can find words to express my gratitude, because if it was not for this country that I chose to stay, I became an American as well.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I love my country, I really do. I miss my country. I miss my friends, but I can't deny that. You know, that's the country that I start to love. You know, it's it, the way that people accept me, the way that people, um, you know, I can't describe to you. It's unbelievable. I I try not to. I still keep my, you know, all the things that I learned when I was in Brazil. I try not to change that. Um, but yes, I don't know if it was not for you, for soccer, especially here. I don't know what exactly what I was doing if I was back in Brazil for a lot of reasons. So um, right now, yes, I'm trying not to change that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, the flair,
Yeah.
the creativity, that's the
Mm-hmm.
things that I still admire and I try to pass to my players. That's the things that I don't want to change,
That is
you
awesome.
know. I
And that's what, you know, I feel like that is probably the missing link in p- taking the kids here in America and helping them matriculate through youth soccer into college soccer and into a potential professional or national team opportunity. That's the missing link, is this freedom of expression that I got to witness playing with you, playing against you. And I feel when I watch Dabinia or Marta, Rose Lavelle is a kind of player that's similar. But everybody's, you know, and now that you are here, you're a citizen of the US, you understand more the culture than when you first came. You know, this winning mentality comes at some cost, right? We give
That's
up
true.
something. We give
Yeah,
up something.
yeah.
And I want to find a way to have that winning mentality and spirit and the gusto that you showed arguing with your father when you were 7 years old. And how can we combine those two things?
Because I think you do have, and if you look, yes, you mentioned about Lavelle, but I feel like all the players pay a high price to kind of lose that and have to play that style now. But and it's hard sometimes because yes, you are winning, and people like, oh, are you crazy? We are winning, so why change?
Mm-hmm.
But for me, that I love, that's one of the things that I love to watch, is to see that creativity, that freedom, players to be able to do magic, you know what I mean? So I don't know, maybe it's old fashioned way, but this is how, that's how when I play. And when I had a chance to be with the national team in Seattle, and we all were like, and I had a chance to be there for them to say, yeah, we have Sissi here. So I went there as an assistant, let's put it that way.
And to the national team of Brazil or the
Yeah,
US?
Brazil.
Yeah.
And we play US in Seattle. And we spend the whole morning watching how US, but no one asked, hey, I'm here. So I've been watching US for the past, I don't know how many years. So, and you sit there with this guy, you know, and he's like, wow, we're going to play this way. Why? Because we're going to play this way. But I say, we can't change how we play. Why not play through the middle? Oh, no, because it's different the way you used to play, Sissi. We don't have players to play that style. Say, are you kidding me? You do have. But we can now start to change because we want to look like US. That's not going to happen. Okay, so we can change. This is our style. But you can still add something, yes. But we can go from now play that style that we used to call jogo bonito, that creative, allow the players to do something different, that you can see how people like how the Brazilians can do that. So why we have to change? If you want to add something, that's fine, but we can be like them. I'm sorry, you know. So it was hard for me to hear that, because I like, okay, so you have Formiga, you have Marta, you have Cristiano, and you think you cannot do this? I'm sorry. So watching soccer today, and unfortunately, because US, they're all winning. They're all winning. They're all winning, playing this way. But I see all players with so, like, they're so talented, but they have to kind of adjust to that. And sometimes it's, I have to say, it's not easy for me. So yes, as we coaches now, it's up to us to change that. And when I say that, people think that I'm crazy. They're like, "Are you crazy?" I'm not crazy, and I don't want to change that.
You are not crazy.
No, I want my kids, I want the kids to have the freedom to be creative, to have that, of course, that discipline, the work ethic, and it's the work ethic. And I also get that from you, because my goodness, every time we have to do these sprints and you say, okay, I'm Brandi, if I'm crossing the line, you got to cross the line as well. And I say, whoa, heck yes, we got to do that. So it doesn't matter who you are. So I get that from you too. And I say, as a captain, as a leader, you are more than example. So I try to pass that to my players and say, yes, we as a unit, we gotta change that. And if not, sorry. And I think that's why sometimes it's hard for me to sit in front of the TV and watch soccer, because I don't see more that And yes, you see that being today, she's so unbelievable, gifted too. So, and I hope, and that's why for me, when I heard that Pia was gonna take over, and I say, thank you, God, because that's what was happening. Coaches try to change our style and take that freedom, that creativity. That was a number one. That's why we were so good at.
Mm. Yeah,
So
it's interesting conversation, Sissi, because last month on Brandy's Corner, as the people who are now joining us here may have who were there, we talked about change and how change is inevitable. But I think there's still ways to have a shift, but keep the core essence of who you are, right? And like you said, we don't have to change this. We could just add to it, and it's understanding how that addition can influence for the positive a better outcome, right? You know,
yeah,
you
yeah,
said,
yeah.
I said, you know, neither one of us ended our career in on the terms that we wanted, um, and that was difficult. But we didn't have a choice, so we had to adapt. But I think this is a chance where, you know, the game has a chance, and maybe you can say um, to me what you think the NWSL looks like now versus WPS. Not I mean WUSA. Not in what's better or worse. Not in that way. But are we getting closer to that style that you like, or the or should leagues like this have different styles? Like I look at different baseball teams or football teams, you know, and even MLS soccer, they have different styles. They don't all play the same. I think we all have the same objective, and that's to win the game. You have to score more goals than the other team. So can, you know, a
I think
little.
it's find the balance, B. I think
Mm,
it's there, find that balance. Uh, and of course, before it was the league over here, there was nothing elsewhere, if
mm,
it makes sense. So
mm.
now you can see that soccer is growing in England and
Right.
in France, in Spain, in Portugal. So people now start to, I think I'm going to, and it is not bad. I'm going to go overseas because maybe because the competition itself. And I don't know if this is good for the NWSL. I don't know if that's good. The fact those players are leaving now, um, probably to, I don't know, I don't know what exactly what they're looking.
But
So
I think let's say you and I both did it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
We both left the boundaries of our country. We entered into a new culture and a language we didn't understand, and that's not always the case by going to England for these players. Um, but I think the value is that you have this life experience. And let's talk
Yeah.
about, you know, and I think that for me is probably the greatest gift. Whether or not you think you're going to improve as a football player,
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
you know, whatever, it eventually there will be an influence on the decisions you make, on and off the field.
Yeah,
Is it?
but in my case, there was nothing there in Brazil. So that was also one of the reasons.
Mm-hmm,
Of course, it's you made a good point, but it's also for you to learn a different culture,
mm-hmm,
to have the experience. Definitely, yes. I can't deny that. But I think in here that people wants to come here. So, but of course, the fans wants to see the superstars, your top players playing here.
mm-hmm.
I don't say that is wrong, what is right for them to leave, but I at the same time, yeah, I want to watch a game when you have your top players playing.
Yeah.
Now I have to watch the league in England because now, yeah, there is something happening there. The top players are playing there, so I
Mm-hmm.
have to get up early in the morning to watch soccer in England.
Right.
So I don't say that it's right or wrong. I think it's find that balance where it doesn't change so much, but it still give opportunity for those players. They're so creative, they're so good on the ball, not to lose that, if it makes sense.
Yeah, that does.
That's what I think I want to see. And I think when we talk about the WPS, it was, I think the problem I saw, it was coaches try to take that away from the players. They were so successful, they're so good at, why now you gotta change when you already, by the way, we already, old. You think now you gotta teach those players how to, it was complicated for me. So I think it's great for those girls to have the experience, because of course it's good for them, for their career, to learn something. But at the same time, I feel like there is something missing here. And maybe that's why the fans are asking, oh, why didn't I stay here? And that's not wrong. Let's put it that way. It's more to maybe give a chance for the league also to be more successful, and because that's what I want to see. I want to see the top players playing here, and that's why also the players in Brazil, they want to leave Brazil to come here for.
Right. So let's wrap this up, Sissi, in the best way possible, which is asking you to look into your crystal ball, and from your vast experience as a young girl coming from Brazil, making your way to the United States, playing professional soccer, international soccer, becoming a US citizen, understanding that the landscape of women's football is changing and that countries are embracing women's football. What is the next trend that we could see in soccer, or what you would hope to see? And why is women's soccer so powerful? It's so powerful right now.
I think number one is equality. I think is have the same rights, and I say that in everything, and it comes even with financially. To have that. We achieved so much for the past couple of years, but in terms of equality, I still think that is not there yet. We are getting close, but even there in Brazil, we change a little bit. It's not exactly the way it sounds.
Oh, I know. When they say it will be equal.
Yeah, exactly. It's not that. So it's still that. Of course, you can see how much it changed, but that's my hope, is us to be able to close that gap. Because we are, it's the same thing, it's the same sport. So or not. It comes with, sponsors. I didn't have that also, no way. So it's all about equality. I cannot, and for me that's what I want to see. And also, as ex-former players, to have an opportunity to be part of those organizations,
I'm so with you.
Yes.
I'm trying like hell, I'll tell you. I'm taking my senior A license course. I want to be involved, no doubt.
Yeah, it's help somehow, because we play the game. And I understand sometimes people say license can make you a better coach. Seriously. So give also an opportunity. We can be the platform as well for us to also help somehow. And that's my dream as well. And I've been waiting for, I don't know when, but give it a chance. But I think it's again, I already saw, a lot of change, but I cannot wait. I think for me is when we are right there. Not,
This is so good. This is, now I'm going to close by saying, we the reason for this platform is exactly what you're talking about, which is the opportunity to meet somebody who then can influence the next person to get them to that place, that dream you're talking about. And again, to Courtney for having the vision and the guts to put this out there for all of us to meet, I think is fabulous. Last question, and then it's going to be a yes or no answer, followed by 1 or 2 sentences of your choice. Will Brazil women ever win the World Cup?
Yes.
Okay, and then?
Is a dream come true.
Well, who knows, Sissi, you could be a part of that happening, and maybe you and I can be respectful opponents again one day, or we can be respectful cohorts wearing the same badge and working together.
Oh
which would be phenomenal.
This is another dream come true too. This is something that I had on my notebook. I put that, and it definitely.
Awesome.
I cannot wait. I hope I'm still alive to see this happen.
Well, I love you. I'm so grateful for this time. I think about you all the time. I know my life and my soccer career and my soccer mentality about the balance that you're talking about exists because I had the chance to play with you. And so I'm sending all my good vibes to you in terms of whatever it is you want. I hope you get, because you deserve it. And I want to thank again Women in Soccer for allowing us to come together on this platform in having this discussion in Brandi's Corner, because you rule. You're a rock star, Sissi.
Oh,
you
come on, I'm, again, thank you again. This is definitely, different, for all the conversations we had. But again, I always forever be grateful for not only the opportunity to play with you, but it was not easy to play against you for sure. But you taught me a lot of stuff. And I think what I admire most about you, because you are real, and we need more people like you. It's very rare for you to find real people. So you're my favorite, that.
Oh, you're the best. Hey, come on over for
Don't say that.
Come on over.
Don't tell people about that.
Come on over for some feijoada soon, okay?
Oh, yes, for sure.
You're the best.
I love you.
I love you too.
Bye.
Bye.